The CFL Gambling Podcast Week 13 preview picks and DFS episode. The Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Yes, they do have CFL action. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm.
Hey, everybody. Joe Theismann here. You're listening to SGPN. So do this. Let it ride.
Oh, geez. Welcome to the CFL Gambling Podcast. Call the audible. Call it. Let's just play all the songs on the soundboard to start the episode. All right.
Why not?
Yes, welcome to the CFL Gambling Podcast. Well, excited about Week 13 action as we inch closer and closer to the 111th breakup. Beautiful, just beautiful music. Is it okay if I drive around Los Angeles with that music? That's what really happens. People might think I'm weird. My apologies on the, I'm sleep deprived. Haven't ate a vegetable in 6 years. And, I'm dying here, I think. No, but, CFL action is a go. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, AKA Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. I would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Let's go. I love the doubleheader. I mean, they saved us. CFL saved sport, in my opinion. I'm a college football guy. College football, everything to me. But college football laid an egg on Sunday and Monday. Only 2 games on Sunday, 1 game on Monday. And out of the blue, the Canadian Football League saves the day by putting a game on Sunday, 2 on Monday, and saving life, saving planet Earth, in my opinion. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast and the UFL Gambling Podcast. I know he must have seen Luis Perez get cut and put a smile on his face. Give it up for Justin Mark, a.k.a. No Turn J Mark. How are you, brother?
Well, I'm still sick, but I'm here. I'm ready to talk CFL. I would say keep that in mind when you're listening to my picks, but fuck that. We're going to go 4-0 this week.
Woo! Well, I mean, look, the DFS slate has made us money almost every week. So... And we both turned in 2 lineups this week that were not. I haven't given you mine, so you might be turning in 3. Just fire away, folks. Yeah, excited to talk about it. Let's just get to the picks. And I'm sorry, no slides this week. It'll be back next week. Just been super busy. I have a child that's 5 months old or 6 months old. So and then to throw on top of that, the college football season kicking off with their first ever 12-team playoff. There's a lot of hype around that. So just been stockpiling episodes and have not had the chance to build slides like I normally do.
Not to mention, if you're not listening to Colby's picks, you're losing out on money. I mean, I had zero time to prep for week 0, but I heard you say take GT in the points. So I took Georgia Tech in the points and cashed that and didn't even need the points.
Plus 400, buddy. My college, look, I know I'm struggling in CFL, but I've never struggled in college football. So get the fuck over there. I hit on Georgia Tech plus the points. I hit on Georgia Tech on the money line. I hit on Georgia Tech on the Georgia Tech Florida State on the under. All 3 of those cashed, and I had a first place DFS lineup. That's called getting it done over there. Check out the college football experience, folks. But right now it is CFL action, and bring back Simon Fraser football, you fucking losers. All right, killing me here. Simon Fraser, Canadian college, got rid of their football program recently. It's been around for a long time. It's a bunch of bullshit. Somebody make a phone call over there. Let's get to this action though, because I am no Thursday or Friday action. Well, you have to go to the college football experience for that action. But Saturday, the Ottawa Red Blacks heading to that filthy dome there in British Columbia to take on the Lions. BC is laying 2.5. Now they have already named Nathan Rourke the starter for this game. I'm surprised that BC is laying 2.5. The over under sitting at 51 according to DK. All these, I'm pulling these off DK. Red Blacks plus 142 on the money line. BC minus 170 on the money line. But yeah, I mean, I am a skeptic right now of this BC Lion locker room. Skeptic of this team. And meanwhile, Ottawa's a freight train right now. I know it might seem obvious here, too obvious. And I'm sure Rourke's going to get it going at some point, but I can't do it. Give me the Red Blacks. Plus 2.5 is plus 100, but why not just jump in on that plus 142 money line? Or I think I see a plus 145 out there. I will also take the over 51. I feel very good about that over. How about you?
Yeah. So, I mean, these two obviously just played last week. Ottawa won by 7. It's tough picking these back-to-back games because you think, well, maybe they figured each other out. We've actually kind of seen it split. Some have gone the other way, and the same team that won the first game won the second one. I'm with you though. This BC team seems to be a little bit in shambles, and Ottawa, they just seem to have their shit together. I mean, they are clicking on all cylinders. The defense looks good. The offense looks good. So yeah, I'm going to take Ottawa. If you don't like that 2.5 at plus 100, so if you're a coward, you can go on over to FanDuel and get them at plus 3.5 if you need the extra point to cross that key number of 3. But I'm with you. I like the money line. I like the 2.5 at plus 100. I'm on the over as well. It just scares me slightly because most of the majority of the games we've seen where teams play each other back to back, the second game hits the under. But I think both these teams have a decent enough offense and a decent enough game plan that they're going to hit the over.
And it's another game with Rourke in the system. Yeah. Now, are we paranoid that BC's favored here? Like, were you surprised by that?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be the home field advantage, right? That must be why they're favored. And Rourke should be, again, like you just said, another week along, a little more comfortable. But I still haven't been super impressed with him. I mean, I think he's a hell of a quarterback. I think it's moving a little too fast of jumping from system to system that he needs just a little bit more time. I don't think this is the week where it's just all going to click. So still on Ottawa.
I'm with you. I do like the over too. Next up, the Sunday game. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are catching 2.5 in Saskatchewan in Regina there. The Rough Riders laying minus 2.5 at minus 105. The over under is at 47.5 there. Blue Bombers are plus 120 on the money line. Rough Riders are minus 142. I see. This is another one where I think they fucked with the chemistry some. I'm going to take a shot on Winnipeg, even though they didn't look great last week. But Saskatchewan took them down earlier this year. I think it's a prove it game for this Winnipeg team. Give me Calero, Strevler, Oliveira going in there and finding a way to come up with the dub. Saskatchewan seems they can't get out of their own way right now, whether it's the command center And then I don't like the quarterback switch. So I'm going to take the Bombers to get it done on the road. That I do like the under 47.5 in this game.
Yeah, we're seeing eye to eye again on this one. I think Saskatchewan's a good team, but I'm going to take the experienced coaching staff over the newer coaching staff here. I think this is a huge game, obviously, for playoff implications for the division standings, and I think Winnipeg is trending upward. I know that they looked like they struggled a little last week. They should have covered that game. They should have, but it looked like they were going to lose it. That was a game they should have dominated. I think it was a little bit of a wake up call, though. Hey, we can't sleep on these teams that we think we can just beat, and I think they can beat Saskatchewan, even though they lost 19-9 last time. And speaking of that score, 19-9, it's a reason I love the under. I think this is going to be another low scoring game. I expect Winnipeg's offense to look better than that first matchup because they've been gelling a lot better. They've been getting the run game going. The offensive line's doing a little better. But I still think it stays under that 47.5. That seems high for these two teams, especially since, 5 weeks ago they scored 28 points.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Folks, want to tell you that the CFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by, well, first off, we're part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and it is football season, folks. Merry football. Everything in the merch store is 10% off with the promo code football. Get on over there and get yourself an old fashioned football t-shirt. All right. Yeah, the logo is fire. If you haven't seen the shit, you just get on over there. SGPN merch store. You get whether the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store, or just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com and click on merch store. You can also get yourself a Pick Dundee t-shirt, a Sports Gambling Podcast t-shirt, really anything. Get on over there. Check it all out, folks. 10% off everything with the promo code football. All right. Back talking CFL action. Thank you for having that game on Sunday, and thank you for having two games on Monday. Yes, the Argos are heading to Hamilton. Can Chris Jones and this defense continue to take a step in the right direction? Chad Kelly obviously reinstated with the Argos. They're laying 5. You know what? Hamilton caught them the last time. The over-under set at 53. The Ticats are plus 210 on that money line. Not falling for it though. Give me the Argos -5. Another week with Chad Kelly. I think the offense continues to flourish. I will take the over 53. I just feel like Hamilton had that last week. I think Toronto is starting to get into form. So I will lay the 5, and I am over on the 53. J Mark.
Well, I'm getting a little nervous here because it seems like when we agree on every game, it goes to shit for us. Like last week when we went 1-3, but no, I think if you look at last year, if Chad Kelly was playing like he did last year and these two teams faced each other, the line was higher than 5. So I don't understand. I get that Toronto's not been as good without him. He looked okay last week, but I think another week under his belt, getting on the same page with his receivers. Remember, he wasn't able to practice with them. This just seems too low. I know Hamilton put in a good effort last week, but I think that was a little just catching the teams off guard. It seems too low. I'm with you on Toronto, and I like the over too because I think both these defenses have some weak spots. And I think we talk about Hamilton; they're one of the terrible teams, but their offense actually puts up points. So. Yeah. I think that you're going to hit the over, and I think Toronto is going to cover this spread.
We are agreeing way too much. I'm terrified. I want to end the show right now, folks. Want to tell you the CFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy Pick'em gives you a chance to win 1,000 times the amount of money you enter. Or you can play fantasy football the right way with Best Ball. Yes, Best Ball Mania is live with $15 million in prizes. They even got college football Best Ball, folks. So hop on over there. You can now use specials and boost on all flex entries. They got CFL action. Sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back talking CFL action. Final game on the slate Monday. Like I said, double header on Monday. Fantastic work, CFL, on this front. The Edmonton Eskimos are heading to the Calgary Stampeders. Stampeders are laying 3. I mean, this is a tricky one. This is one where if the first off, the over unders at 51.5. Eskimos are plus 136 on the money line. Stampeders are coming off a bye week. McLeod Bethel Thompson starting again, even though he's looked better. I think Stampeders are going to catch him. Trey Ford still out. I am on the Stampeders to get refocused. They know the stakes, and they are a way better team at home. I know they lost their last game at home, but they still rallied and took the lead for a second there. I am going to lay the 3. I do like the over 51.5. I think you look to that bye week being all the difference for Jake Mayer and Reggie Bagleton, Jalen Philpott, all those guys focused. I know the running back situation has been crazy. Kylan Hill maybe can have a big game. Yeah. Give me the Stampeders. They're staying in the playoff mix with a huge win here.
Got good news for you too. If you're a little nervous about that 3, you can hop over to FanDuel and get the Stampeders at plus 1.5. Yeah, it pays to shop lines for your CFL picks because these books are
I don't get they bring me in cold.
Unbelievable.
But
yeah.
I'm so glad you're taking the Stampeders so that we have a disagreement here. I'm going to take the Elks. I've been looking at the Stampeders and trying to figure out who they really are. Are they a decent team? Are they mediocre? Are they shit? And after thinking about it and watching some of the highlights, I'm not sure this locker room rallies around Jake Mayer. I'm just not sure he's the guy that can fire the locker room up. So I see you changed. My apologies for having Elks.
Very offended. Very offended. Very, very offended. I thought we can't offend people. I thought we can't offend people
too.
All right.
But no, I just think this Eskimos team has been playing really well. Obviously, I like them better when Trey Ford is there, but I still think they're going to be able to run the ball behind with Kevin Brown. I think he did awesome last week. I think he's going to do awesome again. And I think they're going to control this game with that run. And not to mention they can move the ball in the air too. So yeah, give me the Eskimos plus 3, and I don't even need the points. Give me the money line.
Woo!
Let's
Love
go.
it. Love it. You like the over, you said?
I do like the over. I didn't say, but I do like the over. I think both these defenses are susceptible to putting up or letting up points. So yeah, give me the over for sure.
There we go. Let's give away a little lock and a dog and a total. Give me a total lock, a spread lock, a dog lock. My dog is the Ottawa. I don't know which one I feel better about. It's probably Ottawa. Give me the Red Blacks plus 145 there on the money line. That's the one that I feel good about. The total that I feel best about is easily the Toronto Hamilton over 53. Jump in on that. I mean, I do feel pretty damn good about that under in the Saskatchewan game too. But as far as everything else, as far as just the actual spread, I think I'm going to go Toronto -5 against Hamilton. It's a revenge game for them. They didn't have Chad Kelly the first time. I like that as the play. Give me yours here.
Yeah, and I'm going to hop over to. I'm not trying to push FanDuel, but I am going to hop over there and take Toronto -4.5. Give me an extra half a point for my lock for my dog. I like the Red Blacks as well, but I'm going to go with Edmonton. I'm confident this team is going to get it done against Calgary. I do not believe in Calgary. And then you mentioned my total, the Saskatchewan Winnipeg game under. I'm big on that. They just scored 28 points against each other 5 weeks. So I definitely like the under there. Good point by Randall too.
Yes.
Makes me a little nervous, but not too nervous.
Love it. Shout out to Randall in the chat. Third road game in a row for the Eskimos. Covered the first 2. Stamps are the play here. Let's go. What was the last one you said?
So for my total, Saskatchewan Winnipeg under.
Okay. Yeah, I feel pretty damn good about that one too. You know what time it is, folks? It is that time. Don't have the slides, no problem. We can still do this. Yes. Nice artwork, J Mark. YouTube.com. Give out a parlay. Some people need a huge tits parlay to get them through the week. Yeah, don't you worry. We're giving out huge tits parlays. All right. Well, look. Go for the jugular here. When you feel this good about your upcoming week, which I'm actually terrified that I feel this good about that. I am taking the Ottawa Red Blacks on the money line, right? At plus 145. I am taking the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on the money line at plus 120. I am taking the over. Actually, I for some reason in the parlay I put in the over in the Eskimos Stampeders 51.5. And then I also took Toronto -5. So that is a 4-leg parlay. You throw in $50 on that, you win $932.23. I'll see you in victory lane. All right. J Mark. Oh yeah. Afraid to give out a huge tits parlay. Some people have no-turn lawnmowers. Yes. We're gonna buy a new one with the huge tits parlay. J Mark is going to take the over 51 in the Ottawa Red Blacks BC Lions game. He's parlaying that, and that's at -110 with the over the Edmonton Eskimos Calgary Stampeders at -110. Going to parlay that with the Edmonton Eskimos money line plus 145. You throw $50 there, and you are cashing out at $446.46.
Actually, it's not enough.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes.
I gotta add one more. I feel good about this Winnipeg Saskatchewan under. So I'm gonna add that, and then your $50 will get you $821.03. You had 4 legs. It makes me feel like I have to have 4 legs or I'm inadequate. So I had to.
And may the Schwartz be with you. What a world.
Shout out to Nick Fortune, who goes, I told J Mark last week, won $3.50 for DFSC. Always giving out cash. Yeah. What's not to like there? DFS this week. Absolutely outstanding. We're going to talk about that. But before I do that, I want to let the good people know that the CFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Rhythm. Have you ever wanted to create your own sports betting model for football? Do you even know what a sports betting model is? SGPN's proud partner, Rhythm, is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on, I don't know, money line spreads, totals, props, everything. You know, you can copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard if you want, or you could build your own and press build me a model. You select what you like, and then Rhythm builds around that. They'll give you predictions for every game and player props after that. And they just have a slew of stats, research, trend analysis. And they'll give you, everything there from a betting insight point of view. The Rhythm college football model, love Delaware State plus 40 on the island against Hawaii last Saturday. So did Pick Dundee, and that thing cashed. Build your own model and get ready for week 1 college football. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back.
Real quick.
And what's that?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but since we don't have a book sponsor quite yet, I'm going to fit this in real quick. For the people that like to bet drives, basically, you can go to Bet365. I know it's not available everywhere, but they have flash bets on CFL. Not a lot of books have flash bets. And you can bet. I've been doing the next score to be a field goal or other, which would be the Rouge. And you can bet both of those. And if either one hits, it still wins money. I'm going to be targeting that hard in that Winnipeg versus Saskatchewan, where I think it's going to be low scoring. You're going to get a lot of field goals. And even if there's a punt, it's just the next score. So you still cash on it.
I like that. I have been arguing online with an idiot about how the Rouge, I like the Rouge in football, but not to end the game. And I've been arguing with random people on the internet. I think he called me a stupid fucker. Which I
Breaking
appreciate.
up big vocabulary.
I appreciate that one. Please get in the chat. Call me a stupid fucker. We encourage that. The DFS slate was a ton of fun this week, which means we're definitely cashing this one because we have. Look, I can understand the picks have been a little sour this year, right? But the DFS has been red hot. Nick Fortune talking about the $3 he made. All right. I cashed for a pretty substantial amount. Pretty much. I would like to think that only 2 weeks I didn't cash of the whole fucking season. We're in week 13 here, folks. Yeah. Nick Fortune says, I am not a dumb fucker. Once again, you can youtube.com, CFL Gambling Podcast. Get on over there. Call me a dumb fucker or not. How'd you feel about this slate?
I felt so good. I have 2 lineups. I'm going to give out my main one, the one I feel most confident about. But when we're done rolling through that, I will just name the players on the second one in case people want to tail that or they like it better. But yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity here. I mean, we talk about it each week. It seems like the CFL, or not the CFL, the sports books are just a little bit slow in catching up to where players should be priced. And you can really take advantage of that if you're paying attention.
100% correct. And I'll just start off with a bang then. And I'm actually going to go with the second lineup I did. Chad Kelly at 8K, taking on the worst defense, but they showed signs of life under Chris Jones last week, but they're still the worst defense. Chad Kelly, 8K. What am I missing here?
You're missing that the books haven't caught up because he's priced lower than some backups. He is in my second lineup. I feel like the Ticats, they have something to prove, but Chad Kelly's got more to prove.
Ticats beat them the first time. If any of the Argos, this is a gut check game for the Argos.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that spot. I love that play. And who'd you go with the quarterback spot?
So I'm going to go with a guy that just had a huge game. It's hard not to back him because he's been playing lights out ever since he came back from injury, and that's Drew Brown. He threw 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards last week. I know the second
That's
week.
my other QB for the other lineup. So yeah, we're seeing eye to eye.
Yeah, I mean, I know the second week, sometimes it seems like the game is slower, but I don't think that's going to be the case with these two teams. So give me Drew Brown.
Now here's the difference between 2 lineups that I did. Is in the lineup I did with Drew Brown, I had 3 running backs.
Okay.
In the lineup I did with Chad Kelly, I only have 2, and that's the one I'm giving out right now. And I love the Drew Brown play, by the way, but I'm going Kevin Brown, the Eskimos running back, against Calgary. Their offensive line has established, a physicality under Jarius Jackson that wasn't there with Chris Jones, and it's evident. They just ran for over 100 against Montreal. So Calgary's rush defense has been ass doo-doo play all year. So I will take Kevin Brown at 6,200. Did you roster him?
I didn't only roster him. I put him in both lineups. That's how confident I am in that play.
Me too.
Yeah, he's not my highest priced running back, or no, he is my highest priced running back. Never mind. In this lineup, not in the other. So yeah, I get Kevin Brown for sure.
There we go. take come on, Calgary's rush defense. You can't fix that with a bye week. All right. Who'd you go with at your second running back spot?
Second running back went with a guy who just had a big game. AJ Alouette is on the injured reserve right now, and Freddie Hickson had 16 carries for 79 yards. I think he's going to continue to get a lot of carries. Saskatchewan, I think if they want to win this game, they're going to have to slow it down. That's through the run. So give me Freddie Hickson. He's only 5,800, so it feels like a really good value play.
Woo, woo, woo. Interesting. See, I stayed away because that game's defense. The defenses are playing at a high level. I went with Raquel Armstead. Bounce back game. Didn't have a huge game a week ago. But now they hit the road to that filthy dome in BC. He's 9,600. And this is a guy that, just 2 games ago was lighting it up for us. So I do think he bounces back. I think he knows he had a down game last week. He's telling the team, hey, get me the goddamn pill. All right. 9,600. We know BC's defense doesn't like physicality, and Ottawa will have an edge there, I think, on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely expected more out of him last week, and so I think you see a positive regression this week where you do get more out of him. So I like that play.
Thank you, buddy. Who is you said 3 running backs or 2?
Just 2. So I'm on to my top wide receiver, and I had to go with your guy. He was targeted 12 times last year. He caught 11 of those for 114 yards. Justin Hardy. I'm stacking him with Drew Brown. Let's go.
Last week, not last year, but last year he was successful in life too. As obviously you know, he's a former East Carolina Pirate. Such a great song. I rostered him too, so we are on the same page there. And my next wideout would be Ontario Wilson. This is a guy that I know. I didn't want a lot of offensive players in this game, but I just feel like he's getting the targets. With each giving week, the camaraderie is growing. The safety zone is growing. Hey, I can put a ball out there. Now, Caleros, those picks left and right, I feel like this year. But whether it's Stravler or Caleros, they like to get him the ball. 6,700. I think he's still underpriced. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, and you talked about him yesterday in our recap, and he's averaging 12.4 fantasy points a game, but that's with games of 2.6, 0, 5.7, 5, 3.2, and 0. So if you take all those low numbers and he's still averaging 12.4, I had to put him on my lineup as well. 6,700. It just made sense.
Let's go. And then you want to talk about the all-time value play here. I played him last week. I don't understand. Like, this is to your point of earlier saying, you said earlier that they are incredibly late. Why do you think that is, by the way, that they just, is it just because like the NFL and college football are around the corner? They're putting all their attention there right now. But why do you, what's that?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I think so. I mean, if you look at the CFL, like the main entry is a $15 entry, 1,000 to first place. You're only getting like 300 people in that. So I'm sure if you're the book, you're like, we need to allocate our resources to college football, to NFL. You'd still think they'd pay attention to everything, but for whatever reason, CFL they're a little late on, but that benefits us.
It really does. And we noticed it with the UFL too, I feel like, or the XFL or USFL. They would keep these really good players still priced down. It's been shocking to me, but I can tell you this, like you said, whether it's Chad Kelly, they haven't adjusted for Chad Kelly coming back. And same with DeMonte Coxey, their star wideout, who had 5 catches for 112 yards on 8 targets last week. And they had this great rapport a year ago. He's 4,800. Get on over there. Did you roster him?
Not in this lineup, but in my lineup with Chad Kelly, that's who I stacked with him. So, like I said, when we're done with this one, I'll give that out. But yeah, if you got Chad Kelly, it only makes sense to roster Coxey at 4,800.
Let's go. And then, that's my lineup. Did you have anyone left to give out? Yeah.
Yep, I got one more. This is another guy that it seems like the price isn't accurate. The last 4 weeks, he's had 341 combined yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 catches, a lot more targets than that. He's becoming a bigger part of this Elks offense, and that's Tevin Jones. And he's only 3,900 to a guy who's scored 11.7, 30.3, 21.3. Those are big scores for a guy that's only 3,900. And I needed a bargain guy, so that's where I shopped. And I think the Elks can move the ball in the air, especially against Calgary. So I like rostering him at a bargain.
I like it. I like it. I like it. And yeah. So if you're wondering, the only well, no, I mean, I pretty much kept the same roster intact for my other lineup. The only difference would be I put Drew Brown over Chad Kelly, and I had because of that extra money, I was able to get Justin Hardy in the lineup I just gave out. The other lineup, I had to do William Stanback, the running back for the BC Lions. That's my flex. When it comes to the defense, I'm all over the Rough Riders at 3,800. Like Winnipeg's the highest priced defense because they've been playing really good lately. Obviously Montreal's on bye, so I'm surprised by that. Even though I have Winnipeg winning that game, Zach Collaros has been a walking fucking turnover this year. So getting the Rough Riders to me at 3,800 is a good play. They're at home too, and I just have zero faith. Like I said, I have Winnipeg winning the game, but I don't have faith in a mistake-free game from Zach Collaros. So load up, and we're both on the under. 3,800, I think, is a good play. How about you?
Yeah, I like that, but I went with the Argos. I just think, like we talked about, it's a little bit of a prove it game. They lost to them last time they played. They still scored 11 points last time they played, and I think they're going to be able to cause some problems on the defensive line there, get some sacks, and potentially lead to turnovers. So I'm going to go with the Argos.
Love it. All right. Well, that's you want to give out your second lineup?
Yeah, just I'll roll through it real quick. I had Chad Kelly because I had an $8,000 quarterback. That let me add Brady Oliveira, who's been running the ball really well. Justin Hardy still. I stacked Kelly with DeMonte Coxey, and then I kept Tevin Jones, Kevin Brown, and the Argos defense. I still really like those plays, so I kept them all in there. But I like what you're saying about the Rough Riders, so I might switch that just for some difference in lineups. I might put in the Rough Riders as my defense on that one.
There you go, folks. We are cashing DFS. We are cashing DFS lineups left and right here. So hop on over there, and I'll see you on the gridiron. Appreciate everyone tuning in, and this episode's got some. What? We don't have a game until Saturday. I'm a little bit deprived of CFL for Thursday and Friday, but I guess college football will fill that void. So yeah, this episode's got some life. Go listen to this thing. If you're listening to it, you're listening to it.
That's accurate. If you're listening to it, you are listening to it.
Hang on.
And may the Schwartz be with you. What a world, what a world.
Maybe I am a dumb fuck. Folks, give JMark a follow on Twitter at JMarkFootball. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The CFL Gambling Podcast is on Twitter at CFL Gambling Pod. Make sure you get on over to YouTube, subscribe. We need subscriptions. All right. Get on over there. We need those subscriptions to go up. You're thinking about getting rid of us. Not really, but I mean, maybe. Get on over there, subscribe. All right. We want to get over 250. All right. Tell a friend, grab your wife's YouTube, subscribe. All right. Jump on over there, do that shit. Also check out the college football experience, obviously with the games going on, the FCS college football experience, sports gambling podcast. We just had a Randy Cross interview that was great. Former Super Bowl champ. The NFL pods all coming out. JMark has been killing it over there with the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. What do you guys got on schedule next? This is fantastic. We have lost JMark, but it's okay. You got his DFS lineups, and maybe a tornado has came through Iowa yet again. But check out the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Also check out the UFL Gambling Podcast. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Especially appreciate being called a dumb fuck. Till next time, this is the CFL Gambling Podcast. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.